Mark Robinson with the MontanaJournal.com, here for Player's Choice Outdoors. I like working with these guys because they're all about the outdoors and making products that prepare you for getting out there and help you recover when you get back home. So I've been traveling Montana for quite a few years now, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite ways to enjoy the adventure of being out there: Forest Service cabins. Back in the late 18 and early 1900s, Forest Service cabins were built up in wilderness areas to give the rangers shelter while they patrolled their districts. Today, you can rent those cabins, and I'm going to show you how. Let's hop on a website called Recreation.gov. So on this website, you can sign up, get an account, just get up here in the right-hand corner, and it's absolutely free, so no worries about that. And you can do things like rent base at campgrounds, get tickets and passes at national parks where it's needed. You can even rent day use areas like pavilions and things. What I use this for mostly is to rent Forest Service cabins. Scroll down here to their map. It's a pretty extensive website, and show you what kind of areas they cover. Pretty much all over the U.S., wherever there are Forest Service cabins and campgrounds. But let's say you want to go to Montana. Just type it in up here at the map, and it'll zero in on everything that's available in and around Montana, over in Idaho, down in Wyoming, over in the Dakotas. We're over here in western Montana, in the Bitterroot Valley. And let's talk about one of my favorite places to rent, the Morgan Case Homestead. Rents for $75 a night, and the reason it's so expensive is because it's actually got electricity. Most of these cabins, these Forest Service cabins that you rent, have no plumbing, no electricity, and they're pretty basic, just good solid shelters to have a roof over your head when you're outside in the wilderness. Let's type in Morgan Case Homestead. I've already got it up here on my search because I've been here a lot. And there it is. There's some photos of the inside of the place. This particular cabin is really nice. I mean, most of the cabins have fireplaces. This is a bigger kitchen than most here at the Morgan Case. What makes this cabin so special? It's about 200 yards from Rock Creek. Easy walk through pastures and a few trees, and then you're right there on a stretch of river of Rock Creek that's great for picking up browns and cutthroats. And
some other people starting to come across. Boy, what a great view, huh?
Let's talk about how to reserve this. These things rent from 3 days to 180 days out. And popular cabins like the Morgan Case, they really book up quickly. In the case of this cabin, you really need to be about 6 months in advance of picking dates. And even then, it's a tough one to get. But I've been renting this cabin every year for the last 10 years maybe, and I've always gotten it pretty close to the dates that I wanted. So let's get up here and look at the calendar. And let's just plug in some dates right now. We want to be there in, let's say, December 22nd through the 24th. That's when we want to be there. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's available right now. You get this little pop-up that says View Details over on the map. And you come over here. Oops, it says some of the dates you've selected are unavailable. So now you've got a calendar with availability dates on it. And let's get out to November and see which ones weren't available, or December. So here in December, my 22 through the 24th is already reserved, as you can see down there. Obviously, somebody's going to have a great Christmas at this cabin. And that's another thing about these cabins. In the summers here in Montana, the roads are clear, dirt roads that lead to most of these cabins, so you can, for the most part, in most of these cabins, drive right up to the front door virtually. In the winter, on the other hand, with snow, some of these cabins you have to ski in or snowmobile in to get there. If you're a hunter and you're renting one of these cabins for hunting, I mean, that's a fine thing if you've got snowmobiles, but you got to be able to pack in all of your gear, water, food, sleeping bags, the whole thing, even toilet paper for the vaulted toilets. because they're pretty basic. But okay, let's get back to renting this one. Let's say we've decided, okay, so we can't do that December 22nd through the 24th. We'll do it the 15th through the 18th of December. Okay, so that's it. Right now, I can add that to my cart, pay for that, and have that reserved for those days in December. It's really as easy as that. Again, one of the toughest things about this cabin is if you look through October, November, those are all reserved. September's booked solid, August booked solid, and if you see a little C, that they just close that for maintenance on those cabins sometime. So what we're going to do now is look at another cabin that I've stayed at a couple of times called the Hogan Cabin. So we're going to go back. We're going to get back up here to the search bar. Hogan Cabin is over in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge area, and it's more typical of a Forest Service cabin. The Morgan case as a homestead, a little bigger, and again, has electricity, so you're living pretty high on the hog with that. And, all right, let's type in the Hogan Cabin. There it is right there. Okay, so that's the Hogan Cabin. Let's take a look at these shots. Again, this is more typical of a Forest Service cabin. It's just one room. There are bunk beds inside. Again, most of these cabins, all of these cabins, really have little stoves to keep you warm. And, that's the kitchen right there in this cabin. And it always pays to bring your own propane camp stove. Sometimes they have them in there, sometimes they don't. You always bring propane, and if there's some propane there and you use it up, replace it with what you bring. And, it's just kind of a way of doing it in these cabins to help the next person out who's renting this. So that's the Hogan Cabin up in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge. And what I like about this one, besides the fact that it's up in the middle of nowhere and you can just get away from it all, about 100 yards away, there's this little creek called Trail Creek. And you can go over there and plunk in a little tiny mayfly and just catch brookies that are anxious to get on your hook. And it's just a fun little experience. It's a real narrow creek, but a great experience to just go over there and pop a little mayfly into a little corner pocket and just see these guys come up and attack it. So, okay, so let's see about renting this one. Let's say we wanted this one. Isn't quite as popular as Morgan Case, so we're going to try. Let's see. We're going to pick dates in August next month. So we're going to see if we can get these dates. Okay, it looks like it might not be available. Oh, where'd my little pop-up go? All right, there it is. Let's see. Let's view details and see when it is available. And again, you just get down to a calendar here. Okay, so we wanted the 25th. It looks like it's available the 18th through the 21st. So again, for $143, that is not per night. That's the entire cost of 3 nights. Check in on the 18th, check out on the 21st. $143. Add it to your cart. Give them your credit card number, and boom, you can stay at the Hogan Cabin for 3 nights. And again, it's one of those cabins where you got to pack in like everything. Water for cleaning, utensils, sleeping bags, the whole deal. So, but when you're out there in these cabins and there's just nobody around, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. They're easy to get to these days. Again, back in the early 1900s, this was true wilderness where they built these cabins. It's a little different today because there are Forest Service roads that pretty much drive right up to the front door on these places. But if you want to do something different and than just tent camping and stay in one of these Forest Service cabins, go to Recreation.gov. Easiest thing in the world to do, and just find a location, find where you want to be. If you're going to Idaho, if you're coming up to Montana, it's just it's just a wonderful resource for whatever you want to do. Let's take one more look. Okay, this is the Bitterroot National Forest. Let's go right over there and see specifically what's in here. Let me see if they can get that map up. We're gonna scroll. We're scrolling. Anyway, there's a little camp. Looks like a little campground right there, the Blodgett Campground. Let's get details on that. You can go in there and rent camp space. And again, another great thing about these. Let's go back to Morgan Case for a minute because it tells you what's around the cabin itself. Let's go back to Morgan Case. Seasons and fees. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about that. Rules for cancellation, sure. Facility information, what's in the cabin, what it is you're probably going to need to bring. The recreation around the cabin, like this. Rock Creek is well known for excellent trout fishing opportunities. I have been there, I have done that, and that is the absolute truth. So, anyway, if you're coming up to Montana and you want to do something really different and really cool, at least for part of your vacation, look into Forest Service cabins on Recreation.gov.